Welcome back to Raw Conversations. Warning, this show is unscripted, uncensored. We have conversations supporting the youth, and just know you are a guest, so act as such. New page alert. Follow us on IG Raw underscore conversations, the number one. And definitely subscribe here on YouTube. I want to introduce, first of all, my name is Camila, founder of Envision Youth Services, and Raw Conversations was a podcast that we created to give youth and young people the opportunity to speak freely. And so we'll be covering a couple of things today. But I got to make sure I introduce the person who's hanging out with me today on Raw Conversations, my co host, Mikela.
Hey y'all, name's Mikela. I'm happy to be here and let's get into it.
Let's get into it. We've been gone we took a complete pause, just working on some stuff in film and production, attending a lot of community resource events, and just making that connection with the community, the underserved communities. So, we were honored to be a part of the Long Beach Community Resource Fair, which was at Long Beach City College. The County of Los Angeles probation. We got a chance to connect with a lot of folks there, really great networking. And so I was really excited. So they asked me to do some tabling at this event. So I came but I really wanted to know the anonymous questions that like the community had, the youth and people who came to accompany the youth. So I put it out there where we gathered a bunch of questions, and I said that, next time I do Raw Conversations, I'm going to bring up some of the things that you guys want to talk about. So I have not gotten a chance to study any of these questions. So if you down with me, Mikela, we can do this together.
You know I'm down with it. Come on, come on.
So I don't know what to expect. But anyhow, shout out to Long Beach City College, Long Beach Community Resource Fair, and all of the folks we got a chance to truly, truly connect with. So hit us with the first question. Relationships. Just that one word with a question mark? Like, that's strange.
That's dry. I'm not gonna lie, that's real dry.
That is dry. Do we want to pass on that one?
We can maybe
Because
circle back at the end or something.
Okay, because here's my question. Are we talking about boyfriend and girlfriend? Are we talking about friends? Are we talking about work? What exactly are we talking about when we say relationships? Family relationships? So that's pretty broad. Okay, let's go to the next one. How do you handle getting into relationships? Okay. I'm gonna assume that this is talking about a boyfriend and girlfriend type relationship. So Michaela, you take this one and then I'll go after you.
Uh, I don't know. I'm kind of bad at relationships, I'll say. You know, I'm still young, guys, but so it is kind of hard to be in like committed relationships when you're young because, it's like you're still a teen and you're still a young adult, and it's like, you see all these like examples of what relationships would be like, but where everybody is different, so it's like you can't expect your relationship to look like other people's relationship, and that's where a lot of relationships get messed up at. I'm not really one for relationship advice because I've been told I'm toxic on many occasions. So,
Oh, wait a
but
minute,
I
not
will.
toxic. Not
Toxic,
toxic.
toxic.
Oh
I don't
shoot.
know. I'm trying to work on it, but I just feel like as a young person, I feel like you can't be in a relationship with anybody unless you love yourself and value yourself first. I will say that. That's the first thing I would
Okay.
say. So Camila,
No,
you feed off that.
no, I was gonna say that's real good. And I just wanted to hear what your perspective is, because I realized like what I thought about relationships back when I was your age versus the age I am now, it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when it comes to, okay, how do you handle getting into relationships? So for me, um I would say definitely go into the relationship knowing what it is what your expectations are, what you require. There's a lot of things where you'll have to meet somebody in the middle, but like, certain things where you're like, okay, this is a no go for me, or this is, what I have to have. So go into it with that and don't lower your expectations when it comes to that, because at some point you'll probably end up with resentment or be unhappy. So that's what I would say about relationships. And then also, if you're in a relationship with somebody, regardless of how long you guys have been together, and you don't see the maturity within yourself, you don't see the support, you don't see that you guys are growing, then that's probably not the direction to go in.
Leave. You leave. That's what you do. Do not hold your tongue, especially being young. You will, it'll, I feel like it causes more problems in relationships as you get older. Like, because then you feel like,
Hmm.
well, I stayed with this person. So you start settling. And when you start settling, it's hard to stop settling. I will say that.
Say that again. My goodness, that's called wisdom. Like, no, seriously, it is, because then that's what you basically have made that your expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you settle so long, you start to feel like that's what you deserve.
Right. I
So I
agree.
would say from the beginning, don't settle. And if it's toxic, Michaela, if you're toxic.
I am. I'm not even going to front. I very much am. It excites me.
It excites you. Wait a minute, not excites you.
No, it really does. I literally before this broadcast, I literally just had a conversation with one of my whoop the whoops, and bro was like, "You're toxic," and I don't know. It made me smile on the inside a little bit. I got to work on it, y'all. I got to work on it.
You gotta work on it. Not with the whoop de whoop though.
Yes, the whoop the whoop. Code names, code names. Don't be acting like you don't know. Don't play.
The whoopty whoops. Okay, we got nicknames. We got nicknames. Yeah, no. So that's what I would say about relationships. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now, mind you guys, listen, these are questions that were written at this community resource fair from different people who came to the event. And so I did not study these questions. I just sent it to our producer. Shout out to Kelly J TV.
Whoop
Um,
whoop.
she does amazing work. She's dope in Dallas, Texas, and so we've been doing a lot of work together. So I'm grateful for her. So I just shot everything to her, and so she's I'm looking at everything now. Okay, how to create healthy relationships with meeting people. Do people? You know what? I got a question about, like, for real, for real. I like how people write questions because they feel like that's what other people want to hear, but it's not really what they want to know.
Yeah, I do. I get what you mean.
Like, I'm hoping that that's not what this is. Okay. Okay. Again, how to create, put it up again. How to create healthy relationships with meeting people. Well, first of all, you got to have your expectations, your boundaries, yourself. You have to communicate what you expect in that relationship, rather it is, a friendship or otherwise, what your expectation is. And long short, you teach people how to treat you.
I agree with that. Something I also will say is when making new connections, whether it be no matter like how you're making these connections, establish a boundary. Like, like what is the cause of this meeting? Like, what is the cause of this relationship? Like, is it business? Is it friends? Like, what is it? Like, I always like to be upfront and honest with people. Like, because in a relationship, you're gaining from each other, whether you want to admit it or not. Like, I won't say using, but using. Like, you know, if you're my friend, no, for real. Like, if you're my friend, I'm using you for your friendship. Your
Right.
companionship. So if we're
I
in a
think when you use the
relationship,
word using, it just sounds so
like,
negative. Like,
right?
maybe we're trading services, or you offer
Nah,
something
hell
in my
no. We
life and
using.
we using.
We're using.
Oh.
But that doesn't have to be a negative thing. I feel like the word use gets such a bad rap, and that's because, like, you know, us as the people,
The
we make
people.
words. Yes, the people. We make
Black
words
people
out to
say
be
it. Is it black people?
not people, just, like, when people like, you're using me, like, no, like, it comes out as something bad, but it doesn't necessarily have to be bad, because everything is used. You use water for hydration to stay alive. That doesn't mean you're abusing it, but, like, everything is, it's a give and get type of thing. Everything is. So I
Right.
feel like that
It's a
has
take
such
and
a,
give. It goes
yeah,
both ways. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Have you, okay, just on this last thing on this one, have you
Okay.
ever had a situation where there was a friendship and it wasn't a give and take? So you were
Yes.
giving, but that person wasn't giving nothing, but because you rock with them, you was still giving.
Definitely. And it wasn't even a friendship. It was like more of a family thing, like, when you see family, or when you hear the word family, like, you expect for them to be rocking with you, like, you supposed to be my nigga or whatever, like, you supposed to be
Right.
rocking with me for real, like, and it's like, so you expect a certain thing from them, and then it's like they feel like, oh, because we're family, I don't have to do this, like, but that's not true, like, and the shit gets weird. Like, that's why I say you have to establish a boundary. You have to let people know, like,
Right.
I'm very open with my boundaries. Like, you're not gonna mistreat me, period. Like, if you're gonna mistreat me, you can step on Jesus
Yeah,
and step hard.
we know you don't play with that. Like we know.
Like,
Like we know in real
right,
life, we know.
right, yeah. No, I don't even get down like that for real. But, like, so I feel like establishing boundaries. Like, I feel like a lot of people find it hard to talk. Like, like, just in general, I'd be like, let's talk about this. And they be like, I don't like, I've met so many people like, talking is too much. I don't like to express my feelings. And we the people, the all people, have become so numb to the fact, like, we become, um, what's the word? We become ignorant to our own feelings, like, to speaking our own feelings. Like, there are some people who are just so blunt, me, but there are other people who are just like, they hold it in because they feel like, why should I talk about my feelings? That makes me weak or vulnerable, but it doesn't.
But can I
I
take
feel
you
like,
back on that one?
of course,
See, because when we talk about stuff like this, I always like to think about where that came from, right?
right,
And so numb is the key word. But why?
right,
Because maybe when I expressed my feelings in the past, it wasn't taken into consideration. I was not
right,
heard. You know what I'm saying? So then you kind of
right,
learn how to almost subconsciously, build up a wall, like,
right.
as a form of protection.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But, well, no, but I agree with that. In addition to your statement, I will say, people can't use that shit forever, because, people might, like,
No, you can't.
like, people could say, like, well, I'm a cheater because I got cheated on before. No, baby, you're a cheater because you're a cheater. Like, call it what it is. Like, don't say, like, well, I don't speak my mind because once in the fifth grade, I told my teacher that
Well, if you
I
talking
used
about
the.
what happened in the fifth grade, I'm gonna
That's
need
what
you to
I'm
take several
saying.
seats.
Like,
Like,
grow up, take accountability. I get it, before trauma and all that stuff, but eventually, I don't want to say get over it, but to get over it. Like, like, it comes a time where you have to grow up, like, really grow up, and put your pride to the side. Ooh, that tasted like vinegar coming out my own mouth, but you got to put your pride to the side, and, like, change, evolve. I won't even say change. I'll say evolve. For
evolve.
the
Yeah,
better.
yeah. And you'd be shocked. You would be shocked how many people that are 2 to 3 to 4 times older than you that need to hear something like that. Because I can't tell you how many times there's been conversations, and it's like, oh, you talking about what happened 15 years ago? Like, and it's not to
Right.
say that it did not affect you. Like, I am in no way diminishing whatever it is you went through. But at what
Right.
point are you going to decide to deal with that so that you
To
can move
grow up.
forward and it doesn't
Right.
become like this cycle? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we could take another one. You cool with that, Michaela?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
What were your fears entering college?
Hmm. Well, no, go ahead, Camila. You go
Okay.
first. I want to
Okay, I'll
hear.
go
Go
first.
ahead.
Okay, so for me, my experience was probably a little different than most people. Um, because once I graduated from high school, I got married, and then I was in Utah for some time, and I've lived a couple of different places and attended a few different schools, and my fears had nothing really to do with college, because I had
Right.
other stuff on my plate at that time, you know?
Right.
So for me, my experience would probably be a little different. But what I can speak to is my son just entered college, just dropped him off like 2 weeks ago. And so just going through that transition and prepping him in the dorm and his schedule and the Wi-Fi and the books and all of that other stuff, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. And my biggest thing to him is, make sure with everything that's going on now that you have some form of balance. So that's what I could say to that.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I don't even know how to answer this question. Well, I do because I am starting college. I decided that I'm going to college online for 2 years, and then I'm going to do my GEs online, which I feel like is very wise. And
Okay, wait.
then
Inquiring mind wants to know what's your major?
psychology. Whoop whoop.
Psychology. Okay, you know
Yes,
what I was
ma'am.
hoping you was gonna say?
What
Take a guess.
for rent? What?
Something in
Writing.
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 You
I
already
knew it
know. You
because
said
you
it.
just swear. You just swear.
I
Anyway, guys, I'm not a writer. Moving
Yo,
forward.
no, okay, no, we're not, but no, we're not doing this. We are not doing this today. Let me tell you something. This girl is a writer. I don't care what she says. It is so natural. I have seen some of her work, I have read some of her work, and it's like for somebody to not have any type of formal training, you can tell when somebody has a passion in something. She's very descriptive and she's passionate when she writes. So I put it out there and I'm going to continue to put it out there. You just
I
let me
just
know when you're ready to
love
catch
how
it.
you put me on blast. I just love how you put me on blast. Anyway, um,
That
I
was a
like to
compliment.
see. I know. I appreciate it. You know it's appreciated. Stop playing. I just feel like me personally. I don't feel like a writer. I feel like writing is more of a hobby, like reading. You
Right,
know, um, writing. I feel like psychology. I don't know. I've always had a passion for forensics. So I was gonna go into forensic psychology as a career. But right now I'm studying psychology. I was always as a kid, I always knew that I wanted to go to college, but as I started getting older and being around all the different influences I was around and having to grow up faster than what I wanted to grow up,
right,
um I just feel like it started becoming less and less of a priority to me,
right,
because I didn't even, I was running the streets with, my people and just wilding out and acting wild and shit. And I never even thought that I would make it to see graduation day. Like,
yo,
when I
okay,
turned 18, I cried because I was like, man, like, I'm really here. I'm alive. How many of my siblings and how many of my niggas been falling, and I'm here. Like, that's crazy to me.
okay. Can I be a little soft right now?
Oh, no.
No, I'm
Go
gonna do
ahead.
it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am going to do it. Like, no, when
Go
you just
ahead.
said a second ago, you didn't know if you were gonna make it to 18 and you didn't know if you were gonna make it to the point of graduating and all of that. Like, we know each other, so I know a
Right.
lot. And I just want you to know, coming out to your graduation, like I was like, I don't care what's going on that day, we coming out, we showing up. Like I was so proud of you because honestly, I felt like you had every reason to say fuck it.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
legitimately, without, like you had every reason to just be like, I'm cool on all of that. So the
Right.
fact that you hit that milestone, I just want you to know, like, I am okay. I'm gonna stop being soft, but no, for real,
Right. You're
I'm
supposed to
proud.
be
I'm proud of
stuck.
you. I'm super proud of
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And it was a lot of hard work. I will say that I'm gonna throw that in there to y'all that are listening. Y'all in high school, middle school, stuff like that. Man, focus. Really, really focus. Like I used to think niggas was on bullshit when they was telling me like, focus, you don't want to be like that. I was like, whatever, I'm gonna do what I want to do, period. And then
Right.
when it came to senior year, and I didn't know if I was gonna graduate, and I was
Oh,
staying up nights, like staying up days and nights, going to sleep, surviving on 5 hour energy and Mentos, bro. Like I
yo,
was really trying to stay awake, like, and I had to cram so much in those last 2 weeks, and it was
right.
so tiring. I'm so thankful to my school counselor, Miss Garces. Oh, that's my dog for real.
Shout
She
out.
really looked out, right. Shout out. She really looked out for me. I'll never, ever, ever forget her. She pushed me so hard when I went to give up. I was sitting in her office and she was helping me, and so many people have helped me. Of course, my mom, Camila, all of y'all, like y'all really encouraged me to keep going, because as somebody who's been through a lot, like you start looking for reasons to give up, like when my dad got
Mm,
sick and shit, like, and my mom was talking about college, and I was like, I'm not going to college, nigga. Like, I'm done. Like after high school, I was like, after high school, nigga, I'm done. Like, yeah, you talking about going back to school? Yeah, you're smoking. Like, I'm not. Yeah, no. But
right.
I feel like, at this point, it's different. I don't know. I'm happy to go to college. I'm happy to, have this experience. And even though I'm not going in person for this part, I feel like accomplished because a lot of people from where I'm from, a lot of people in my family, you know, they didn't do college. They didn't even finish high school, like
Right.
they came out with a bunch of kids, or they came out on drugs, or they came out like, and I've overcome all these things. And so I would just say my fears of entering college, I have no fears. The only thing to fear is self, period. Don't be scared of
Mm,
nothing, baby. Just channel
mm.
all that fear into positive energy and do what you know you can do. You made it this far, so you shouldn't be scared, You have
Look
the
at
potential to
you.
do it, so do it. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. I'm not gonna play with you.
Anyhow, yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, she hit the head on the nail. She dropped the mic on that one. So, are we down to take one last question?
Yeah, I'm down with it. Go ahead.
Okay. How to get money for youth under the age of 18? How to get money for youth under the age of 18? Um, okay. I guess this could be answered in so many different ways. Um, get a job. I mean,
Bye, Camila, because it's not that easy.
oh, okay. Well, no, you can actually get your workers permit and you can start working, like summertime, breaks and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how to take this question because I feel like it's something underlying.
I
Like,
got you, dog. I got you. Okay. So, again, as somebody who did a lot of stuff in their life, which they wish they wouldn't have done, it is very easy to get sucked into that mindset of quick money. And I'm not gonna knock nobody's hustle, period. Like, I'm not even somebody to sit here and fake it like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, because I didn't done it all, you feel me? But I just I feel like if you don't have to do it, don't do it. Like if you can stay in your parents' house, stay as long as you can. Work on finding a legal job. You know, work on doing something that you're passionate about that could bring you money. Um, you know, like I know like scamming and dealing and all this other stuff. It seems like the way to go, especially living out in the IE or LA and all these places where it's popping. That's not what's up. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. The jail time is not worth it. The consequences later in life is not worth it, you know. And the things that you have to do, like, they're really not worth it, bro. Like, you know,
Right.
I'm gonna get real. Like, you know, I'm not gonna incriminate myself, but I'm gonna get real. Like, um,
Yeah.
I've done some stuff, you know, some stuff, like some
It
stuff.
comes fast. It's gonna go
You know,
fast.
right.
You know what I'm
It comes
saying?
fast, you
And
know. And when
yeah,
you're up. You feel me? You feel like you're on top of the world. You like, you know, I'm that nigga. I'm cold. I'm too cold. Like I used to say that every day. Like I'm too cold. Like,
you got a whole
and then I
different
got hot.
personality when you up.
Right. And then I got hot. And it all came crashing down, you know. And and it didn't even come crashing down like in a bad way. It came crashing down because I decided to change my life around, you know. You know, and
Right.
you have to think about it like, you know, there are ways to get money. Money is all over the place, man. Like you just have to know how to play the system. And the system is like when I say the system, I mean the system. Like there's money in school, there's money in like jobs and like, you know, take advantage of like job fairs and working with your parents, working with, you know, people in the neighborhood, stuff like
I
that.
have
Like
another suggestion. When you said people
what?
in the neighborhood, if you're
Mhm.
connected or if your parents or anybody is connected to somebody who owns a business, find out if you can, whatever you're talented at or whatever you're good at, like find out if you can do some work like that. It'll be an
Right.
easy way, for somebody to come in and help you out while you make money, and do it that way. But just don't do no stupid
Yeah.
shit. Like,
I
because
agree. I agree
yeah,
wholeheartedly.
that's
Um,
something you definitely got to pay
I
for.
will say there is a lot of jobs, man. Like there is really jobs. Like, you know, like I used to use the excuse like ain't no jobs, just so I can keep doing the shit that I was doing, you know, and which was really stupid of me because you know I could have been farther ahead, but I wanted to be a knucklehead. I wanted to be a real street nigga when I should have
Right,
been, you know,
right.
doing what I needed to do. And I don't live with regret, but I feel like, you know, sometimes I smack myself upside the head like, damn, like why did you not do this, you know? But again,
Right.
no regrets because I wouldn't be who I am without, you know, my experiences. There's no testimony without the test on God. So I just feel
I mean, you
like,
live and you learn. So everything that you've
right,
gone through, you can sit back and say, "Oh, I did that. That wasn't cool." You know what I'm saying? So let me
right,
try to do something different. So, I mean, I just feel like as long as you are learning something in the process,
right.
I mean, that's what promotes growth.
I agree.
Yeah.
Um, let me see. I
Okay.
think that
Huh?
was it. I think that's it. Yeah.
You think that's it? Okay, so we got more questions and more topics from this resource event, and we will tap in with us on Thursdays, Raw Conversations at 6:30 p.m. Follow us at Raw_Conversations, the number one. We want to make sure we go viral, and also make sure that we give youth and young people a platform to speak in their truth. So look out for us, and yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Thank you,
Bye.
Mikela.
Of course. Thank you for
We
having
out.
me.